Hi, this is Dr. Matar. Today we're going to talk about metabolism. What metabolism actually is. A lot of people don't have the right concept of what it is, and because of that, they cannot control their metabolism. Metabolism is something that you can control. It's something that you, through behavior, through understanding and behavior modification, you can actually contribute to. You can have better metabolism or lower, slower metabolism, depending on what route you choose to take. Here's what it is. I'm going to give you the essence of that concept so that you can act on it. Metabolism is processing energy contained in the food you just ate or the fat you're storing. The food you just ate contains energy. The fat you're storing in the body contains energy. Metabolism is the way, the method that we utilize in the body or in the cells of the body to process the energy contained in these two so as to release it and make it available to the body so the body can function. Most of the cellular functions in the human body are energy dependent, and we supply the energy through metabolism. Okay? So if somebody is not a good metabolizer, if you will, they will not be burning energy, fat, or the food they just ate quickly enough to have a slim body, for example. Okay. Now, where does the energy come from? In the food that you eat and the fat that you store. It comes from the sun. Sun energy, which is the number one or the only source of energy, in fact, in the body, on Earth, in this nature, comes to the green leaf that you find on every single tree on this planet. And that green leaf has the capacity to sort of fixate the energy contained in the sun that arrives to Earth and use it to create the edible parts of that plant, which we will then eat. And then we'll then process through metabolism to release the energy into the body so the body can function. So that's what metabolism is. Here's how it happens. Number one, it happens inside a little structure inside of your cells called the mitochondria. And the mitochondria is basically a bunch of energy processing little organs that are inside of your cells. You normally have a few of those in a cell that doesn't really have a lot of action and activity, but this number can go all the way up to 3,000 in muscle cells that are being trained really well, you see. So basically, the food you just ate or a little droplet of fat from the fat you're storing goes into the mitochondria, and through a 10-step process, that piece of food or the fat droplets I just mentioned will go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 and so on up to step 10. And every time it moves from step 1 to step 2 in this series of chemical reactions, it releases some of the energy contained in the food you just ate or the fat you're storing. So it is essential for whatever it is that you're processing to go through all 10 to release all of the energy contained in that food or fat you're storing. What causes that piece of chemical, food or fat, to move through those 10 steps? What causes that piece of chemical to be pulled from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and so on is oxygen. Oxygen is sitting right here, right behind step 10. And it has such an amazing pulling capacity to move it from stage, whatever you want to call it, 1 to 2 to 3 and so on, releasing its content of energy. This is why oxygen is essential. This is why we breathe, by the way. So we can supply the mitochondria with oxygen that can take anything that we're eating or storing through that 10-step chemical reaction to release the energy contained in it. Okay? That's what metabolism is. So in addition to oxygen, what we need to enhance metabolism is different bits and pieces of chemicals that we call them minerals, or we call them vitamins, and we call them water. These are naturally occurring chemicals that are essential for step 2 or step 4 or step 5 and so forth. Each one of these steps requires some minerals and some vitamins and definitely water. So if we supply the mitochondria with enough oxygen to pull everything through it, and enough vitamins, and enough minerals, and enough water, because all 10 chemical reactions occur in a water environment. So water is absolutely essential for these 10 chemical reactions to take place. So how do we supply oxygen, vitamins, minerals, and water? Here's how. Number 1, we need to breathe in more oxygen. How do we do that? Simple. We basically exercise and do some rib cage stretching exercises. Movements that will allow for your lung capacity to increase. That means your ability to take in oxygen will be higher. That means oxygen available to those mitochondria to do the 10-step process is also available in abundance. So that's one. Number 2, we eat vegetables. A lot of vegetables. Yes, it is vegetables that will enhance your metabolism because vegetables supply water, minerals, and vitamins, which is exactly what you need to create those transitions from steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay? So it is not about how much protein you eat, which is what a lot of people think. Metabolism is not about that. It's not about fat. It's not about carbs. In most cases, we have abundance of those. We have too much of those. What we do not have enough of is vegetables. Okay? So vegetables, which is a diet that's based on a lot of vegetables, and an exercise that's based on movement, aerobic, and stretching of the rib cage. Okay? That's how you do it. Thank you. Hi, this is Dr. Matar again. If you like the video, please give it a like and subscribe so you can get the future videos. If you're new to the channel, what I do here is I discuss cases of my most successful patients who struggled with diet and exercise, yet were able to achieve, at the end of their programs, a well, fit, and slim life. I want the same for you, so if you have any questions or comments, please send them my way. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.